So growing up in the 1970s, early 80s, I had this nanny, and her name was Paulina. We called her Pawpaw because it was the late 70s, early 80s. And Pawpaw was my domestic who looked after us. She was our nanny. She would feed us and take care of us. And in her wisdom, whenever we transgressed, instead of scolding us or instead of making us feel poorly about ourselves, she would say to me, "It's not your fault. You didn't do this," whatever it was that I'd done. She would say, "Isandla sako ingane yami." It was your hand, my child. And in that moment, she would afford me the dignity. She would afford me that moment's grace to say, I'm not disliked. I'm not scolded or thought of poorly. It was my hand. And so by saying, Isandla sako, she gave me the opportunity to correct my errors. And with her in mind, and with the raging debates that are going on social media, Facebook, mainstream media, I thought to give some similar advice. As our debates are raging, I thought to develop a very brief and easy to apply debating strategy and methodology. Because, we're all just, milling around already, waiting to be heard. I don't know, maybe we're waiting for Kubla Khan. And we don't want to throw each other over a cliff, so to speak. So, being a keen observer of human nature for many years now, I decided, for the success of my publication that I'm considering, to give people what they want to hear. What with it being so difficult these days to listen to good, solid, sensible advice and all, setting aside the assumption that not much of the advice that exists these days is of course terribly good. But hypothetically, if that advice was good, if good, solid, sensible advice did exist, we really don't like heeding it. Because, we do all enjoy a good historical novel. And we like to watch history repeating itself. Nonetheless, I digress. So what I know we like to get our heart rates up. We like to get our palms all sweaty, breathless and dry-mouthed. And that's without gyms being open nowadays and all. And also sometimes without a partner, because as you know, some of us didn't get to enter into lockdown with a partner. But still, we like the sweaty palms and the breathlessness and the dry mouths and the hectic heart rates. And so as humans, we go after what we want. We make a plan to get what we want. And so we get that same effect from a good, solid debate on this virus. Now, being old school, I've always enjoyed reading books. And so I thought that I would use the very well-received and highly successful Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, but with a twist, to make it more adaptable, applicable, and appealing to, millions of others. So here is my 7-point strategy when engaging in a debate. Number 1, criticize the person's opinion, ensuring that you include their race and ethnicity in the criticism. Outstanding way to get that heartbeat racing immediately. Number 2, base your substantiations on poorly researched, if at all, because that takes work and academic discipline and We last had standards in like the early 90s, and we don't have time right now, being in lockdown and all, for the vigorous academic research that is required for a proper and healthy debate, when that debate is just itching to be had. Number 3, do not under any circumstances acknowledge any aspect of your opponent's debate in which their point may have been valid, accurate, or made sense or held merit. Do not concede one single point, because that's just going to not quite have the same effect on those sweaty palms and speeding heart rate. Number 4, ensure that you get your point across by interrupting or speaking over the other, so that the wisdom of the adage is fully valued. That goes something like, none is as deaf as he who cannot hear his opponent when they are both talking at the same time. Number 5, ensure that your intent is solely to express your opinion and not at all to learn from or apply any new information you may have gathered, lest it proves you wrong. Now this is vital. Imagining that you could be persuaded to correct your assumptions so that together we can reach a resolution. That would be like tantamount to suicide in a debate. It would be like reaching a peace agreement between two warring factions. This was surely never the intent of healthy public debate. Number 6, do not seek to reach the truth through mutual debate. This is not about making good meaning for all of us. This is about you being right at all costs. Our very lives depend on it right now. And number 7, hurl and insult one another, either overtly or surreptitiously, as often as possible. Again, race, big winner on this one. If you can't think of a smart comeback, then just go black and white in your thinking. This proved very successful and very useful in the television industry itself until December 1953, when colour TV became a thing. Before that, black and white was a great strategy. And number 8, yes, I know I said 7 points, but this exactly is the lesson. You always have to get the last word in. So point number 8, forget the actual topic. It is irrelevant. The subtopic or the agenda of you being right has by now become much more vital and could, or ought to, by the end of the debate, be the main topic. You have simply failed in your efforts if you have kept to the actual original subject. And this, my friends, is how to win the opportunity to lose friends and influence emotional explosions. Fiona D'Souza, How to Win a Debate.